friends, I think that we should probably read yet another Junie B. Jones book just because I love them so much. All right. They just make me happy. Just happy, happy books. All right. This one is titled Junie B's First Grade, and there's something under the sticker, I'm sure. One-man band. First graders. Let's see. First grader. Yes. Oh, it's on that page. Yay. Okay. Junie B's first grader one-man band. All right. Chapter 1. By the way, here's a picture of Miss Junie B. Just getting bigger now. Chapter 1, Kicking the Cow. And it looks like it's a letter from her. So let's see how this goes. Monday. Dear first grade journal, tournament. A kickball. And then she has tournament spelled incorrectly, so crossed out. A kickball, again, tournament crossed out. And then, oh, I see. And then tournament the correct way written after it. Too much. The whole entire first grade is going to have a kickball. Once again, tournament crossed out. And the correct word put there. My teacher told us that news last week. And I can't even stop thinking about it. Our families, and she wrote that one incorrect as well and crossed it out, are going to come and everything. I have been practicing my kicking every day after school, and I can kick high and low and fast and slow and to and fro and pro and con. When I grow up, I will have my own kicking show on TV probably. From Junie B, first grader. I smiled at that nice thought. Then I peeked over the side of my desk and I tried to wiggle my piggy toe. It still felt sore. That's because yesterday a little trouble happened when I was practicing my backyard. And it's called, I accidentally kicked my ball over the fence. And I didn't want to go get it. So I had to find something else to kick. And then, ha! I spied Mother's brand new watering can. It was the one with the funny cow painted on it, and it was sitting right out in the middle of the yard. I laughed out loud at that perfect target. I bet I can kick that silly cow right over the moon, I said. Then I rubbed my hands together, very excited. Did you trip over a rock or something? I did a gulp, because maybe I shouldn't mention that I kicked the can, possibly. Mother waited for me to answer, then very slow, her eyes glanced over to her cow. He had a giant dent in his head. Also, his nose did not look normal. Mother did a frown. Junie B, she said, very suspicious. What's the story here? I looked back at her real impressed. That woman is sharp as a tack, I tell you. Finally, I did a sigh, and I told her the story here. Yeah. Only this wasn't even my fault, Mother, I said. It really, really wasn't. On account of, at first, I was practicing my kicking, and then my ball went over the fence. And so what was I supposed to do? Kick air? I did a thumbs up. But good news, I said, because just then I saw your cow can. And so I ran at him with all my might, and then I kicked him as hard as I could. Only too bad for me, because that stupid thing was filled with water. And now I have a smashed piggy toe. I thought for a minute. Then I folded my hands on my lap, very quiet. The end, I said. Mother, did you look happy with me? Sorry, let's try that again. Mother did not look happy at me. Gee, imagine that. A watering can actually having water in it. How unusual, she said. That is called sarcastic, I believe. After that, Mother carried me inside, and she called the doctor, and he told her to raise it up on a pillow and use ice. And so, guess what? At first, it felt a little better. Only this morning when I got dressed, it hurt to put on my shoe. And so, even though it was chilly outside, Mother said I could wear sandals to school. And so that's how come I keep checking on it this morning to see if it's feeling any better. I closed my journal real quiet. Then I bent over in my chair and I patted my toe very gentle. Next to me, May made a face. You shouldn't play with your feet, Junie Jones, she whispered. Playing with feet is what stinky people do. I stuck out my tongue at that girl. I still get a kick out of that behavior. After that, I sat back up again and I stacked my first grade dictionary on top of my journal. Then I laid my head on my desk and I daydreamed about the kickball tournament some more. In my dream, I was the only person in the room, one who could kick the ball. That's because all of the children in the room, one had a broken leg on account of accidents happening sometimes. And so I played in the tournament all by myself and won the whole darn thing without any help. I was the star of room one. All of my friends shouted and cheered. Then they hugged me very happy and they threw confetti at my head, only not May. May threw a small potato. That was uncalled for, I believe. Too funny. She's just too funny. She's the cutest thing. Chapter 2, More Piggy Problems. I stayed in my daydream a real long time. Also, I think I snored a little bit. Then, all of a sudden, smack! Mr. Scary clapped his loud hands together. And that noise scared the daylights out of me, I tell you. I jumped straight up in my seat and my arms flamed out very crazy. Then my hand knocked into my dictionary and oh no, that heavy book went over the edge of my desk and it landed on my sore toe. Ow! I shouted real loud. Ow, ow, ow! I reached for my foot and I started to cry. Mr. Scary came running back to me. Then he quick sent Herbert to the school nurse to get some ice. And hooray for Herbert, because he brought the woman back with him. He brought that woman back with him. Her name is Mrs. Weller. I know her from previous accidents. I know her from previous accidents. Miss Weller gave me some tissues and she put an ice bag on my piggy toe. It felt heavy and soggy on that sore guy. I pulled my foot away, but she put it right back again. Please, Junie B, said Mrs. Weller. If you just keep this ice on your toe, it will start to feel better, I promise. I shook my head real fast. No, it won't, Mrs. Weller, I said. I know it won't, because Mother already put ice on that same toe yesterday, but today it still hurt. And that's how come I had to wear sandals to school. Oh dear, she said. You mean this poor toe was already injured before you came to school today? I did a sniffle. Yes, I said. It was injured a real lot, Mrs. Weller. On account of yesterday, I kicked a cow. And that thing was solid as a rock, I tell you. Miss Weller's face went funny. You kicked a cow, she said real soft. Yes, I said. And the cow was full of water. And a cow full of water doesn't even budge. After that, Mrs. Weller got very speechless, and she didn't ask any more questions. She just kept holding the ice bag on my foot, plus also she mumbled to herself. Room one stretched their necks to see my foot. Then Shirley stood up, and she said that she knows just how I feel, because one time she accidentally kicked a brick, and that did not feel good either. And then Roger said he hurt his toe before too, because last year he accidentally kicked a refrigerator repair truck. Plus, a boy named Sheldon said that last summer he accidentally kicked a giant tree stump on account of his cousin told him it was made out of rubber. Only it wasn't, said Sheldon, very upset. It was made out of tree, and so all of my toes got their heads bashed in. After that, Sheldon put his foot up on his desk, and he started taking off his shoe to show us. Mr. Scary held up his hand. No, Sheldon, please. This really is not necessary, he said. But Sheldon quick yanked off his shoe and sock, and he raised his piggies way high up in the air. See, everybody? See the baby one? The baby one still has a little red knob on the side of it, he said. See? Just then, Sheldon tipped his chair back on two legs so he could raise his foot even higher. Only too bad for him, because quick as a blink, his chair legs slided out from underneath him. And boom, he went crashing into the aisle, and his forehead got a knob on it, just like his baby toe. Miss Weller quick grabbed the ice bag from my foot, and she put it on Sheldon's head. She said he needed to come to the office with her right away. Only wait till you hear this. Sheldon didn't even cry. Instead, he left the ice bag on his head and he put his shoe and sock back on very calm. And he walked to the door with Mrs. Weller. All of us clapped and clapped for the brave boy. Sheldon smiled when he heard that. Then he turned around and he did a bow, and the ice bag fell off his head. All right, we'll continue with chapter 3 on our next video.